welcome to the August 19th, 2025 meeting of the Murfreesboro Historic Zoning Commission. Seeing that we have a quorum, I'll call the meeting to order. Amelia, do we have a public comments?
We do not, sir.
Okay, approve the minutes of June 17th. Anybody have anything they want to add, amend, change?
Move to approve.
Second.
Ashley, call the roll, please.
Mr. Backlund?
Aye.
Mr. Becker?
Aye.
Mr. Jakes?
Aye.
Mr. Panesi?
Aye.
Mr. Prince?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Chair Belcher?
Aye.
Vice Chair. Chair Davis?
Aye. Okay, new business H-25-013, 346 East Main Street. Amelia?
Thank you, sir. Thank you, commissioners. This first project we have today, there's a lot of activity going on at 346 East Main Street. This property is located on the East Main Street south of Maney Avenue. The subject property contains approximately 0.6 acres and is developed with a single-family dwelling with Board of Zoning Appeals approval for a bed and breakfast. This house is listed on the National Register of Historic Places as the Bryn Roberts home, and it is a single-family residential home in the Historic District as well as the City Core Overlay District. It is a Queen Anne style house that was constructed in the year 1903. In October 2024, administrative approval was given to replace the architectural asphalt roofing with the same color and style of architectural shingles. And then also at the regular October 2024 meeting, the commission approved gutters and downspout replacements. During installation of the new roof and gutter system, extensive rot damage was revealed, and on February 5th, we had a special meeting to review approved plans to replace the gutter system and freezy board soffit fascia around the entire perimeter of the home. At the regular HCZ meeting on April 15th, the commission voted to approve the installation of a different type of gutter system, which was called DuraGutter, replaced all freezy board soffits fascia around perimeter with wood from Sledgecraft to match existing, replace all medallions and paintable architecture products from Architecture Depot, and would all be painted to match existing, and the downspouts would be round burnished slate colored as well to be replaced. The applicant, Mr. Michael Chevis, is now requesting to review for repairing and restoration of the exterior trim and architectural details other than the ones that have previously been approved. They're requesting to replace exterior wood railing fencing. If you would look, currently at the house, there are some railings that seem to have some type of wood behind it on both the bottom and the top floors, what were once patios that are now screened porches. And so they're wishing to trade these out with a new material. I believe the applicant has passed out some paperwork to you all to give you a little bit closer up, but this is going to be an architectural panel. It's just one solid piece. It's not going to have the look of the exterior banister railings that are currently on the home. They would also restore the gables and front porch and roof vents, as you can see on the tops of these. And then they have some mahogany, some screen doors that they want to replace with some mahogany from Vintage Woodworks. And then they're going to do some window and door trims. Looks like it's mostly going to be rehab work. And then some dormer restorations. There are 3 dormers on the house, I believe, if I counted correctly. Right now, they are about a 4-inch reveal, and this would be a 7.5 wide lap cider cement board, and it would have a 6-inch reveal. The applicant is here to give you a presentation today as well on the project and give you some updates as to where they are currently. Mr. Chevis, thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Michael. Go ahead.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Mike Chavis. We're currently doing the work at 346 replacing the gutters and all the cornice work there. The homeowner, Miss Brenda Gerard, has asked that we continue with this restorative work on the exterior, with the exterior trim, with the dormers and the windows and doors. Basically everything on the outside that is not the cornice work that we're currently doing. So the restorative work is, this slide here shows some areas of concern, photos as we have uncovered a few things, especially on the sunroom walls, which is the south and east walls of the rear. There's extensive rot. Once we got in there, we were prompted to go in there because of the water that was coming in after a hard rain. So several areas of water intrusion on the outside. One of the areas being the existing railing structure that's on the back. Other areas are around the windows. The flashing, we're proposing to redo the flashing but not take the windows out. The next slide here is again the scope items, which I think everybody understands: the dormers, the window and door trim, gable and rake trim, the doghouse vents, the dormer trim, and the sunroom walls and the associated decorative panels that go with those. On the dormer siding, the goal is to restore, and that's the goal with all of this, is first and foremost to restore, to keep all the materials on there that are still viable. If we do, I know Amelia just mentioned that we could go with a slightly bigger exposure on these, on the siding for the dormers. The dormer siding that you see in the slide there, that is a hardy or a cement fiber product. I can't speak to it being exactly hardy, but one of the biggest issues with that is that, as you can see in the middle picture, the hardy or the cement fiber siding is a little too close to the shingles. And so that would be corrected. On the left or the right side of this slide, you can kind of see some of the wear and tear on the front trim around the windows. And that's something, again, that we intend to restore, but if we do need to replace it, then it would be with similar material that we've already used on the soffit. It would be the Red Grandis material from Sledgecraft. Our next slide here is the trim for the windows and doors. So we've located, Sledgecraft does have all of these profiles. It's the window and door, the window and door trim it is almost exactly this trim right here, and that's one of Sledgecraft's profiles. And then the crown that's on the dormers and in the rakes and gables is this stuff here that's also from Sledgecraft. So we've already found it. It's pretty readily available. The next slide, well, let me stop right here. And the third picture in the slide, this slide deck here is shows the flashing around the windows on the sunroom. That flashing, if you look real close, you can see where the weep hole is for the window. That should allow water to just come out. Well, the way that flashing is done in this instance and in many other instances, it actually channels water back into the wall cavity. So that's another thing that we will be correcting. Our next slide is the gable and rake trim. Again, this stuff from Sledgecraft is what we would be using there. The dental is nothing special. It's just blocks set up as dental molding. And the intention, again, is to restore. Where we need to replace, it would just be something that's rotted and gone and no longer viable as an architectural element. So our next slide, I'm calling the structures on the north and south side of the main roofs, the doghouse vents. Those are in pretty rough shape. The louvers and the siding and the structure itself needs quite a bit of work. Again, that material would be pretty much all of that would come from Sledgecraft. We would restore the vents even if we've got to cut our own louvers. We've done that before. I don't have a problem doing that. The dormers, the picture on the right, the fascia and the crown there, a lot of that is in pretty rough shape just because of where they are, and they've taken a beating over the years. Our next slide is the sunroom walls. So this set of pictures here is probably the best ones that we have demonstrating what's actually behind those railings. And the railings themselves are like the flashing around the windows. They're directing water into the wall cavity, and therefore when in a heavy rain, we get quite a bit of water on the floors at the main level and on the upper level. The rails at the bottom, as Amelia referenced, we would like to change to a panel style rail rather than the balustrade and top and bottom rail that's there currently. The inside of the house has a lot of panel elements to it, and we would like to carry those elements to the outside. Now, in lieu of that, if y'all deem that not appropriate, then what we'd like to do is have a board and batten, which is also on the picture that I gave y'all, style that it wouldn't be exactly what's there now, but it would echo what's there now. All right, and then the screen doors would be on the front, Brenda. It would be the front double doors, yes. So that would be the picture on the right in this slide, and those would be coming from Vintage Woodworks, and the panel would be very similar to what's pictured on that slide. And the rest of the material, Sledgecraft, on the doghouse, if I need to replace the siding there, then I would source that from a local sawmill, from Haney Family Sawmill, which is in Liberty, Tennessee, owned by Roy Haney. The rest of the stuff I think we've already covered: Sledgecraft, Vintage Woodworks, and Hardy Artisan Siding, if it comes to that on the dormers. And now I'm open for
Thank you, Mike.
questions.
Okay, let's
Yes.
open it up for questions.
Is all of this material you're sourcing from Sledgecraft, other than the hardboard, is that going to be poplar?
The stuff that we're sourcing from Sledgecraft is Red Grandis. The Red Grandis is It's part of the eucalyptus family, very resistant to insects and to weather. We've used the red grandis everywhere, from like balustrades in replicating and replacing balustrades to exterior trim when we're doing hardy or cement fiber on other houses.
Okay.
So I mean, it's straight, it's very easy to work with, very paintable, and over time, I've seen it last or hold up to that kind of abuse that Mother Nature can sometimes hand out pretty well.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
And before we saw the slide of the screen doors, didn't you mention mahogany was the original screen door wood used?
I can't speak to what the original screen doors were, but the ones that we're proposing to use would be mahogany.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
The screen doors is something new, or maybe they were there a long time ago, but it's relatively new back again. I don't think they've been there for a while. Go ahead.
There are screen doors that were pictured in the seller's estate sale.
Okay.
They were in the basement, they went proof, so they are no longer with the property.
What color, although we don't get into colors, are you going to paint them to blend with the white trim, or are you going to like do black?
I don't know, probably neither.
What are some of the possibilities? You want them to stick out?
No, I do not want it to stick out.
That's why I was asking, like the white would make it disappear. And what is the screen itself?
We have an option of shiny silver galvanized aluminum, a black or maybe charcoal colored fiberglass.
There's
And
fiberglass.
then there's two colors of fiberglass. Maybe one was black.
And there's copper, and there's brass, and all kinds of things.
Yeah, probably not using the copper or brass.
Yeah, the copper would churn
It would.
green.
Yeah.
Excuse me, you're the homeowner, right?
I am.
Okay, would you introduce yourself, please, so just for the record?
I'm sorry, I'm Brenda Gerard.
Okay, thank you. We know Mike well. We've seen.
You should
seen a
know
lot of
me
Mike.
well.
As far
Mr.
as the
Thompson, go.
panel below what was the former, sleeping porch, I understand that there's a flat panel on the inside, and you want to repeat it, but I think honestly, we ought to go with the board and batten, because it looks more like the railing system that's already there. I would recommend that than replacing something that was never there.
I agree with Jim on that as well.
I think it's a close enough simile to that I think that would be preferred.
The board and batten
Yeah.
would be, yes.
Now, the board and batten you're proposing is not what's in your handout. That this is the panel versus the replicating the balustrades, right?
So the two pictures on top,
This is board and batten.
yes,
This is your board and batten?
that is correct.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
that is the board and batten, yes.
Okay. I thought that was to replicate the original handrails that were covered.
It does to a degree. The spacing would be a little bit different. The porch railings are governed by safety issues.
Sure.
And board and bat, not so much.
Okay, thank you.
It was so good a representation, you thought it was the railing system.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Further comments, questions? I have no issues.
This is not really comments about this, it's just that I don't think we've ever had anyone come before us who was so well prepared and who wants to restore rather than replace, and that you're so willing to restore it in the way it should be with the kind of materials. And I just want to laud you for that.
Thank
It's
you.
great.
Yeah. That's part of our construct. Yes.
Okay, Amelia, should we approve this all in one motion?
I believe so. I believe that would be,
If we have no other comments, questions, can I get a motion for approval?
Make a motion for approval as submitted.
Second.
Well, I'd like to clarify, but we're with the board and batten wainscoting.
correct.
I'll second.
Second. So we ready to call the roll then? Ashley?
Mr. Backlund,
Aye.
Mr. Becker,
Aye.
Mr. Jakes,
Aye.
Mr. Panesi,
Aye.
Mr. Prince,
Aye.
Mr. Thompson,
Aye.
Vice Chair Belcher,
Aye.
Chair Davis.
Aye. Motion is passed. Thanks, Mike. Good to see
Thank
you
you.
again.
Yes. Yes, thank you.
Okay, Amelia, H-25-014, 44 East College Street, Amy and Don Gregg.
Thank you, sir. This property is located on the south side of East College Street, several blocks west of North Highland Avenue. The original house was constructed circa 1900 in the vernacular style with a hip style, shingled roof, square plan, decorative cresting, and aluminum siding, and a classical porch. The HCZ approved house renovations and conversion of the dwelling from a duplex to a single-family dwelling in January of 2022. This house is not a contributing structure on the North Maney Avenue Historic District of the National Register of Historic Places. The property contains approximately 0.121 acres and is zoned RS8 single-family residential, HI for historic zoning, and is also in the CCO overlay. The applicant wishes to install an aluminum gate along the driveway. That would be seen, of course, from East College. It's a 5-foot wide, 6-foot tall gate. It's going to be, as I mentioned, entrance into the rear yard. Then they would also like privacy fencing along the rear of the property line and then on the western side of the property line. And along the rear property line, that fence would be 8 feet overall height, and the new fence on the western property line would be 6 foot overall height. The design guidelines for the historic district does state that fences may be added as long as they are of similar material to other fences in the area, and we do definitely have other fences in the area that do look similar to this. Would be the gate that they would be proposing, and then the fencing style that they would like to install around their property as well. The applicants are here today to answer any questions that you all may have of them.
Amy, you want to come, you or Don want to come forward? This house looks familiar to me.
Yeah.
Do I have any? Do we have any questions or comments for the applicants?
Well, my question is that you're asking for an 8-foot fence, and I think our guidelines won't allow anything higher than a 6.
They can have 8.
We can have 8?
They can
I'm
have
sorry.
8. And the guidelines don't reference it. It comes from building and codes.
Okay.
They can have 8.
Sorry.
That's okay.
What material is the privacy fence?
Wood.
What kind of wood?
Fence wood. I don't know. It's pre-stained wood. It's just like the fence that's on the corner of Manny and College.
Made by the same company.
Probably a pine,
Probably.
a treated pine, probably.
I would recommend you don't do pine, and it will rot in no time. I would do a cedar or something like that that will weather better.
I don't know. I'll ask them what kind of wood they use. It's
I just would
Premier Fence, so they've built fences all over the.
I understand, but they're in the business of building fences, and so they love the fact that they rot, and you have to call them back. So
they
for
are
you,
using-
I wouldn't want to pay for it twice real quick, so I'd ask them to give you a decay-resistant wood material that's not going to rot quickly.
Okay.
And you're going to stain it, or it's going to be stained
It's
or
already,
painted?
yeah, it comes pre-stained.
Okay, well, that should help protect it. That should help.
It's about a year.
Anything else? Okay, I would ask for a motion to approve as submitted.
I'll make a motion.
Mike? Have a second?
Second.
Commissioner Becker? Ashley, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Backlund?
Aye.
Mr. Becker?
Aye.
Mr. Jakes?
Aye.
Mr. Panesi?
Aye.
Mr. Prince?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Vice Chair Belcher?
Aye.
Chair Davis?
Aye. That dispenses with our new business. Amelia, you have a staff report on some administrative approval, I see.
We did have an administrative approval. That was at 226 North Highland Avenue. Mr. Knowles had some separation between his fireplace and his house, and he wanted to replace some flashing on there and even that up on that home. So that was an administrative approval that I did this past month as well. The second item that we have on other staff reports is, let's see, 6 years ago next month was the first time I ever stepped foot into a historic zoning meeting. And I was met by a very wonderful group of individuals who have been very helpful to me through this process. And today we have some of these commissioners that are going to be rolling off of this. And we would like to give them some great recognition for their dedication and service to the city of Murfreesboro. First would be Linda.
She said she'd rather have a diamond ring.
I know. I wished I could give you one. You want? Yeah, just come over here. Come over here. Okay. I think it'd be easier. That'll go with your house.
Yes, it will.
Well, for heaven's sakes, thank you so much. Thank you.
No, thank you.
Indeed.
I wanted to,
That is
do
great.
you mind if I?
Go right ahead.
I want you to give a little time to think about this. I don't know if it's appropriate for me to be up here or not. but,
Sure it is.
I want you to think for just a minute over your years of service and some memory that you're gonna carry from those years of service, and if you would share that. Ms. Linda, have you thought of something?
Oh, well, no, not until you just asked me. I was thinking about the original impetus for an historic district. And J. Huggins was determined that this was going to happen. And luckily, she had enough good colleagues who, like David Rowe and Jim Bailey and, golly, I can't even.
Betty Horde.
Betty Horde, yes. And just those wonderful people, and how they worked so hard to talk so many people into going along with it. And finally, this was the funny thing, after they had campaigned, they had canvassed, they had meetings, and there was one lady, one homeowner, who absolutely did not want an historic district. And she would not give in, and so they finally just went around her, and she was never in the historic district, and she was happy about that. But we were
That's
happy
beautiful.
that we finally got one. And the other thing I've thought over the years of the mistakes we made as a commission, and I think we've learned from them, and I hope that the new commissioners will have gained from and been educated about the mistakes we have made and stand their ground.
That's beautiful, beautiful. That's a great memory. And Jim, is that the next one?
Oh, goodness.
Mr. Jim Thompson,
Thank you,
we
ma'am.
appreciate you for all your time and efforts that you have put in
Thank you.
for this.
22 years.
Jim, do you have a memory that you're going to carry?
I just remember all the various projects that have come and gone, that the proof is in the pudding of having historic zoning, and that the value of those houses has gone up tremendously. And I think it's through all our good efforts. The one that I remember a lot too was, I hate to say it, but fighting the city when they were going to tear up the sidewalks that were brick. And we insisted that they go back with brick or something similar, and they did, and it looks so much better.
Mm, beautiful.
And mailboxes
Oh, yeah.
at the street. No
Beautiful. Well, David, you want to do David? David, I guess you can speak from there. I'm gonna come.
It'll be easier to go this way.
Yeah.
I also wanted to mention Miss Linda, when she first started on the board, on the commission, she was actually on here with our mayor,
Shane.
McFarland.
Yeah.
When you first started.
Oh, that's right, I was. And
Oh, my goodness.
And I'm a little miffed that we're losing these people, these good veterans. I think they're going to be
Well,
hard,
this is-
hard to replace.
No, that's for sure. You know, I was counting up the years of service that we have and the ones that are retiring from service on, and it's right at 80 years. 80 years of experience that are represented in these 4 people we're recognizing today. You know, I was thinking, how many people, citizens, raise their hand and offer to serve on our boards and commissions in our city with very little thanks and sometimes a lot of grief and several phone calls in the middle of the night about issues. But you raise your hand, and I thought, well, why would you do that? Well, there's only one explanation. They deeply love our community and want to find a way to communicate their concern and their love for our community and sustain that beyond their own experience in their own lives. And all of these people have done that because we work together on several things in the community as well. And I'm just so thank you for letting me be here today to help recognize these folks. This fella, I remember when he first came to our town. And David, is there a memory that you have of your service? 26 years, is that right?
26 years ago, so
26
I don't know
years.
that my memory goes back that far.
That gets to be a challenge, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
well, Julie and I moved here in 1998 and bought the house on 346 East Main. And in 1999, I guess I did such a good job of presenting some of the things I wanted to change on the exterior that in 99 they asked me to be on the board, and it's been an absolute honor and pleasure to do that and be surrounded by some true professionals. Thank you.
That's awesome. And the last one is a friend that I don't remember when we first got together, but I think the first time I ever ran for office, you and I met over a conversation. And this fella he wears so many hats in our community, not only a realtor, but he's a craftsman, he's a historian, he's a go-to guy when we're trying to figure out something historic in our downtown. And he certainly has a passion for this community. And while it's only 8 years, it's 8 years that you've been doing this.
Yeah.
So do you have a memory, Bill?
Well, I wasn't prepared for such a thing, but just listening to these fine commissioners that I've learned so much from tell their stories, I can't help but think back to B.J. Huggins that you brought up, Linda. B.J. was the first person who encouraged me to get involved with getting into a commission or a committee. We formed a committee at Oakland's to promote the improvements of Manny Avenue, which eventually did happen. And since that time, I have served on more committees and commissions than I can count. I mean, between Main Street and Equalization Board and just, I mean, again, I can't even count them all off, but while I'm rolling off of this one, I was actually just recently appointed to the Murfreesboro Housing Authority Commission, so I'm thrilled to take on that role. Just a wonderful man, Charlie Teasley, just retired his position there, and boy, what amazing footsteps to try to follow. So I'm looking forward to serving on that one, and this has been nothing but a great experience, and I've made a lot of great friends through this process.
Well, I just makes me think of, there's a time, I think some of you know that I've coached Little League for a long time, and one of the things I remind my kids of, and normally it's around Mother's Day that I remind them of this, there's 2 words that we don't use enough, but we need to use them liberally, and it's very appropriate today when we're celebrating your years of service on this commission. Use them liberally, and they mean so much to people. They don't cost you a thing, but they mean something. And you can guess what those 2 words are. Thank you. Thank you for your years of service, for allowing us to have your expertise. You know, it was neat to experience what I did just in the meeting that you just had. Each of you were contributing your experience and your perspective and your passion for work that was being done to maintain and sustain our downtown. And we all know, once it's gone, it's gone. So each of us bear a little bit of that responsibility to carry that tradition on for our grandchildren, for people that we may never know. What the work that you've done over those almost 80 years will benefit generations that we will never see. And that's profound. So thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for your love of our community. And may you enjoy whatever your future holds. I know it'll be something that'll care and make a difference in our community. So thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. We will have 4 new commissioners appointed Thursday night. Appointed might not be the right word at the council meeting. Would urge staff and the remaining commissioners to lean in and help these 4. Thank you. And they're all very qualified and very optimistic about the job they'll do. Having said that, do I have any other comments from any of our commissioners? Not, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Commissioner Thompson,
Second.
second Commissioner Becker. Ashley, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Backlund? Mr. Becker?
Aye.
Mr. Jakes?
Aye.
Mr. Panesi?
Aye.
Mr. Prince?
Aye.
Mr. Thompson?
Aye.
Vice Chair Belcher?
Aye.
Chair Davis?
Aye. We stand adjourned.